Hi Scorpio, welcome to your August 2020 Astrology 33 general reading. Thank you to those who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those who are interested in booking a personal reading with me, just check out the description of the video for more details there. As far as what we have in front of us, we have a Celtic cross spread as always. I also pulled some Oracle cards and a Mudra card for you. So, I'll get started with the main spread. The main situation position, we have the Moon. So, this could just be pointing to the fact that the lunar cycles that we'll see in August are going to be pretty significant for you guys, but it could just be in general saying that maybe you guys are lacking some clarity around situations. Maybe there's a little bit of confusion going on for you guys right now, but as far as the lunar cycles in particular, I will say there's going to be that full moon early on in August in Aquarius, which is your 4th house, and it's going to make an aspect with Uranus in your opposite sign. So for some of you, it can manifest like you might decide to suddenly move in with a relationship partner, or some of you might actually move out if you're already living with a relationship partner. That's just one way it could play out. And then that new moon later on in the month in Leo actually is a pretty good supportive one if you guys need to get a boost in your career and work life. So just wanted to mention those two things. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the 4 of Swords. So seeing this in the mix, it could just be saying that you might actually need to take some time to heal from something, and maybe that's where you have a lack of clarity. So for example, if you've gone through some kind of a heartbreak or disappointment recently, and maybe you find yourself being a little bit more reactive than usual, could just be saying that the challenge there is that you actually need to take some time away, process it, and heal from it. For others of you, could just be saying that getting some rest is a problem, and that could be why you're a bit more reactive. And if that's the case, could be because you guys have Mars in your 6th house of work and daily routine. So you might just be risking burnout, where you might just be overly busy, and as a result, you could just be a bit more irritable because of that. So just try to keep an eye out for that energy. But yeah, for some of you, just can just say that maybe you guys have gone through disappointment and you need to actually heal from it, or if you feel like you're just a bit off as far as not being able to trust your intuition, your emotions feel a bit out of whack, maybe you just need to try to take a little bit of time to clear your mind. In the foundation position, we have the 9 of Pentacles. So this is actually Virgo energy here, and there's not going to be too much going on in Virgo until later on in the month of August, but so it might not necessarily be pointing to that. But again, given that Virgo's the natural ruler of the 6th house, and what I mentioned with Mars being in your 6th house, could just be saying, maybe you need to just take some time away for a little bit. And if you're feeling a bit stuck and bogged down in an area, I feel like this could just be communicating if you guys get out in nature for a little bit and, just clear your mind some. You might actually get some messages and some synchronicities. That's why I think about when I see that bird there. So you might just get some signs if you're looking for some clarity around the situation. Like I said, with that moon there, maybe just getting out in nature for a bit could help clear things up for you, especially if it's around finances. All right, in the past position, we have the 8 of Wands. So to me, especially given that this is Sagittarius energy, to me this does show that you do have a lot of money concerns on your mind. So like I said, maybe this has been around moving for some of you. So maybe you've been thinking about moving house. Like I said, could have even been deciding to move in with someone or possibly move out. But I just feel like this is saying that there's been a lot of communication, or at the very least a lot of thoughts on your mind around finances and possibly moving in with someone, communicating about moving in with them, things along those lines. In the present position, we have the Page of Pentacles. So this could be pointing to the uneasiness that you might be feeling, because what I always say with the Page of Pentacles is that what sticks out to me is that Pentacle is just out of his hands, right? It's like just out of reach. So that could be how you're feeling about your goals around finances. You might feel like, okay, whatever goal you set for yourself, you feel like you're close to it, but it's just not quite there yet. And like I said, could just be because of having Mars move through your 6th, which on the one hand, it can give you that energy to get to work, but it can also make you a little bit critical around how far you're getting with your work and possibly push you a little bit too far, especially because as Mars moves through Aries before it goes retrograde, it's actually going to make some tough aspects with the planets in Capricorn too. So, could just be one of those things where you might feel like you're a little bit further back than you actually are, or you just might be a little bit more pessimistic as far as reaching a goal goes, but that's what I see there. For some of you, this could also represent you actually making the offer to someone. Like I said, if you are considering moving in with them, it could just actually be pointing to you extending the offer to them, like, hey, do you want to move in together? But I feel like if that's the case, there could be a little bit of fear and anxiety around doing that for whatever reason, too. In the near future position, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So more Virgo energy here, more sixth house energy. So to me, what this is saying is you might even experience a slight setback in your finances, but I feel like it's actually going to be one of those things where you take one step back, but it will propel you 2 steps forward, basically. Because the reason why I say the setback is I see the 9 there, and I see that Page of Pentacles communicating to me that you might feel like a goal is just out of reach. But with this Eight of Pentacles, I feel like it gives you a bit of a reset. I feel like you'd be reinvigorated. Some of you might actually consider going into business for yourselves if you're not currently doing so. But to me, what always stands out to me with this card is he's quite literally making those pentacles there. So I say this points to me an energy of making your own money. And if that's the case too, this could be energy that you might feel as we get to the end of August, because this card represents the first 10 degrees of Virgo, which will be around that time. And like I was saying, that new moon that you guys are going to have in Leo, which is in your 10th house of career and social status, is going to make some really good aspects with Mercury and with Mars. So you might really get some ideas on how to attack a plan of yours as far as building up your finances and just getting to work on it. So if you are in that moon phase right now where you might have the ideas but you can't quite figure out how you want to attack it, or if you just feel a bit out of sorts right now, it could just be saying, all right, take a little time to heal. And as we get closer to that, like I said, let's say the 20th to 25th, give or take a couple of days, you might actually feel a lot more energized toward your goals at that point. In the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Five of Swords. So, there's no positive outcome with this energy here, but what I will say, usually when I see the Five of Swords, if I have the Three of Swords or Four of Swords in the spread, I do mention this point, which is to say, we know the artwork for the Three of Swords. There's a Three Swords and a heart. And then, to me, the 4 represents the healing, right? It's almost like he pulls those 3 swords out. We see that one sword beneath him, which to me represents the truth, like the Ace of Swords. So it's like taking the time to actually look at the truth of the situation, heal from it, and move forward. And what can happen sometimes is if you don't take that step, that Four of Swords, to, take the time to heal from the situation and just try to move forward too quickly, you could still carry those Three of Swords around. We see he's holding 3 swords, right? Like if you're in battle, it wouldn't really benefit you to carry around 3 swords. 2 possibly, because you could have 1 in each hand, but there's no benefit to carrying 3 swords. So it could just be one of those things where, this person might convince themselves that they've healed from something they've taken the time, but realistically, they're still carrying that wound with them, and then we could see what the end result is, right? It ends up pushing people away. So that could be why that Four of Swords was coming up in the challenge for you guys too. It could just be saying it could be a bit of a blind spot for you guys, that you really might feel like you have healed from something. But if you're finding yourself in this cycle repeatedly, then that's definitely going to be an indicator for you guys that, yeah, you need to actually just take a little time and really process that, This represents Aquarius energy too. So as far as timing goes, I would say be careful with communication around the time of that full moon in Aquarius, because, you might cause some conflict there. And that would make sense too, because like I said, that full moon's going to make a square aspect with Uranus in your opposite sign. So especially around relationships, there could definitely be some conflict there, possibly even in your career too, since Leo energy will be involved in that. So keep an eye out for that. Like I said, that'll be in the first few days of August, and then that energy will pass from there. So let's just say the first week of August, be careful just to make it a little easier. All right. In the environment position, we have the Two of Pentacles. So, for those of you, if this is more of a financial thing, this could represent the frustration that you might be running up against, right? Maybe you're trying to decide between two options. So, for example, maybe you have a quote unquote stable job, but you're also trying to do something on the side for yourself. For others of you, this could be around an offer that you're waiting for, and that's the frustration, where you feel like whoever you're trying to make a deal with, as far as partnerships go with finances, you could feel like they're the ones who are juggling back and forth and can't make up their minds. But that's what I see there. And then it could just be saying as well, again, if you feel like you're in like a cyclical pattern where you keep ending up in the same place again, that could be another indicator of what we're saying there too. If this is your energy that we're seeing, could just be another indicator that you might need to just take a little time, try to get out in nature, and then that might help give you a reset where you actually might see the situation more clearly and actually be able to act on it and move forward. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have Judgment and the Queen of Wands. So for some of you, this could just be saying that if this is around a relationship, this could just be saying that maybe you're hoping for a second chance with a fire sign, possibly an Aries. And again, since we do see Aries energy here, this could just be saying that some of you might actually hope to go back to a previous place of employment, or at least a previous field that you used to work in. And for some of you, this could just be saying if you're in that moon energy now where you feel like, for whatever reason, your energy is out of sorts, where you have these plans, you have these desires to do things, but you just haven't really had the energy to get up and go do it. Could just be saying that that's what you're hoping for there too. Like I said, if that's the case, that Leo new moon for you guys could actually be pretty significant in giving you that boost that you need. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the King of Cups. So with all the weird energy we saw here, this is actually a really good card to see come out in the outcome, because this actually is the court card for your sign. So to me, it says whatever ups and downs you might go through, if you're feeling out of sorts one point in a month, or if you, start to overwork yourself for a while, if you get into some kind of a conflict, whatever it may be, looks like by the end of it all, you'll actually be back in the zone, which is definitely a good thing. So that's what I'm seeing there. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit. So this could just be another indicator. Like I said, I feel like for whatever reason, whatever this is around, finances, romance, work, career, could just be saying that, you might need to take a little time, be introspective. Possibly you could even bring things up with friends too, because for you guys, Virgo is your 11th house of friendships. So, if you feel like you are stuck, maybe it would be best for you. Make sure you trust the person and they don't have any ulterior motives, right? But if you need to open up to a friend and let them know what you're going through, that might be helpful for you guys as well. And again, this could be another indicator that whatever thought process you go to, I feel like it's going to click for you guys by the time we get to Virgo season at the latest. All right. Moving on to your Oracle cards, you actually had two that came out in the first deck. So the first one you got was Loyal Heart. There's the artwork, and the number is 35. Take a look at that. It says fidelity, loyalty, devotion. The Oracle's message. Evidence of loyalty will appear in your life. Others will prove they are faithful to you, and you will in turn commit fully to them. There is a sure and abiding certainty in your heart. Know that Spirit is always loyal to you. No matter the outer circumstances in your life, trust and have faith, for you are eternally loved, always divinely protected, and divinely directed. So definitely a pretty good message there. And then, maybe this is what that energy is pointing to as well with that Four of Swords in the challenge position, that maybe you are lacking faith for whatever reason. And like I said, it looks like there's some energies that'll help change it around for you guys. All right, the relationship message says your partnerships, friendships, and romantic relationships all have many qualities in common right now. Honest devotion, faithfulness, and a loyal heart are being shown to you. Are you as loyal in return? Now is the time for heartfelt commitments and trusting in divine protection. So really the only thing that I would say there that makes me think of that Five of Swords energy showing up in, your position. So like I said, be careful around that. I feel like if this hasn't already happened, I feel like the greatest likelihood of it coming out could be around that full moon early in the month. So like I said, just try to watch your words around that time and at least think it through before you say something. All right, the prosperity message says your long-term loyalty to your goals is becoming evident in a world of conditions where your aspirations for success assume form in reality. Success is finally taking shape. If you are loyal to your dreams, faithful to your plans while remaining flexible, and devoted to serving others, you will be shown proof of your true prosperity. This is a time for a joyful celebration of spirit, your manifesting partner. So what that makes me think of there is what I was saying with that 9 of Pentacles and the foundation, and then seeing the 8 of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, saying that maybe you guys do take a bit of a, have a minor setback in some ways, but it could even be, for example, maybe you invest in yourself in some ways. You're like, all right, I'm going to have to make this investment in myself. It might cost me in the short term, but in the long run, I have more room for growth. And then given that we see the King of Cups and the outcome, looks like that might work out for you guys too. All right, the next card we had was Peace. There's the artwork, and the number is 23. Let's see what this says. It says, freedom from attachment, radical acceptance. The Oracle's message, it doesn't get any better than this. A quiet mind, a heart fulfilled, freedom from want, and a soul satisfaction. The way to peace is through radical acceptance. Everything in your world is exactly as it should be. Harmony is beautiful. Enjoy it. So that message there definitely makes me think of what I was saying with the 9 of Pentacles, that maybe you guys just need to get away for a little bit, just enjoy a little time out in nature, and you might even get some signs and synchronicities there that'll show you that you're on the right path, even if it doesn't feel like it, or show you the right path. The relationship message says when two people are in true alignment with one another, they have an innate harmony between them. They are as two perfectly tuned instruments playing together. Sometimes it's impossible to tell who is who. Peace is yours, and it is to be savored. Now, I do have to say that I didn't get a huge relationship vibe with this reading in general, but one thing that comes to mind seeing that 2 of Pentacles in the environment position is the one way I could see this playing out for some of you could just be that maybe if you're finding their energy a bit wishy-washy, I could see you getting frustrated with them and having to blow up. You know what I mean? One of those things where I don't think it'd do like major damage, but that's one way I could actually see the energy playing out. So, if you're finding them a little wishy-washy, maybe don't have that conversation with them in the first week of August, because it could come out a little bit wrong, but, maybe you guys could just have a talk about that a little later in the month. The prosperity message says this is one of those times when you're capable of clear vision about your work and how you create your prosperity. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You're called by a presence to step into your power. Just being is enough, for you are in peaceful harmony with spirit, and it shows in your work. So definitely a pretty positive message there. And then the next card we have is Vulture Spirit. It says nothing is wasted. There's the artwork, and the number on this one, 63. Okay, it says, what seems hideous has its own beauty, and the recycling and repurposing the vulture does is as important as any other activity in nature that supports the life cycle. Vulture Spirit's message is that nothing is to be wasted, for nature sees value in everything that exists. What seems rotten and ugly has the potential to be transmuted into something beneficial, and you are reminded that any suffering you have experienced has not gone to waste. Wisdom and understanding that arose from the experience are talismans that will serve you on your journey wherever you go. What is decaying is only changing form and will fertilize seeds you wish to plant, turning that which has passed away into the substance that will support new growth. All that you might wish to deny or discard as value and can be repurposed and reintegrated into the new you that you are becoming and a new life that you are dreaming into being. No pain was in vain, and no experience was wasted, for you have the power to use it to co-create something far better. This is the miracle in your partnership with Spirit. So definitely a pretty good message there. I feel like that's just like a good general message that Scorpios probably would resonate in almost any scenario, but hopefully that did resonate with you guys. All right, and the last thing we have is a Mudra card. And the Mudra that you guys got is the Sumukha Mudra. There it is there. Keyword for it is coordination. Right. There's the info on it. And under benefits, it says balances left and right sides of the body, harmonizes all 5 elements, activates the body's self-healing power, benefits the tendons and bones, increases concentration power, builds devotion and spiritual resolve. So that sounds like something you think would be beneficial for you guys. We'll put the name of the Mudra in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.